Like the other night when you were talking about the emperor, you're like, well, it's not supposed to be. And it's like, well, why not?
Yeah, this is a good question, Ian. What is objectionable about a method of control by which you offer resources and then put someone in debt?
Well, I mean, if it was at their will, if it wasn't like you were saying earlier about this hitman strategy of like, we're going to control your nation one way or another, and you get to pick. Do you want to be bribed out and just be a served to us, like, and pay us back for the rest of your life and owe us interest on all our loans to you? Or do you want us to remove you and then take control of your country? Or do you want us to invade and take it by force? It's your choice. That's my problem with it, is this strategy. If it was just like, hey, do you want some money? You'll end up paying us back in the long run. If not, okay, that's fine. Do your thing. But that'd be a different story.
If it's a developing nation, like, right, that doesn't have a lot of economic activity, right, and they're giving loans to these countries so that way they can develop they can have a functioning economy or have a more prosperous economy, and it helps the people of the country. Why is that bad?
Well, I mean, helps it. If it helps the people of the country, it does a lot of times lift people out of poverty. That's true.
I think my point being, like, the argument that you're making sounds like an argument against capitalism, right? Against the method that we use to fund projects, and that kind of boils down to an argument against capitalism. And capitalism is the best system to raise people out of poverty. The reason we don't have a total poverty be the norm globally, and it's not. We've got, like, I think less than 10% of the population is in abject poverty anymore. I think the UN said, and by like 2035, you're going to get rid of all objective poverty, which is like living on less than $1 a day. Different amounts of money are necessary in different countries to keep people fed and stuff. But capitalism is the engine that has raised the standard of living for people globally forever. Even China, like, China was a basket case of an economy until the 70s or something like that, when Nixon went and opened it up a little bit. China decided to open up markets, and then they started to actually produce something for the people. People stopped starving all the time. So, like, the argument sounds like when you talk about it, it sounds like you're against, the liberal economic order. It's like, liberalism is generally good, right? And the economic order that has been produced has raised a massive amount of people, billions of people, out of poverty. So I'm not sure what your argument against it is, when it's actually done really great things for billions of human beings.
Well, one would be the centralization of control. That makes me nervous, because if crazy people get in control of that system, if there's one system and everybody relies on this one economic order, if crazy people get in there and like, we don't like this type of person and we don't like that kind of culture, you're like, whoa, hold on, this is Earth, we're all in this together. It's not your 80 people's decision of who gets to go poor and who gets to live. And that's one concern, is centralization of control. Another one is, like, look what they did in Libya. Libya was an example of Gaddafi wanting to get off the US dollar, and I think he wanted to adopt a gold standard, and they were like, that's not going to fly, bro. And they just basically killed the man and took the country by force.
He wanted an African Union, and he wanted to trade oil and gold, and that's against the wishes of the Western powers. Mm-hmm. So they take him out. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.